join this today's program. So we apologize for the inconvenience to you, all those in the audience. And meanwhile, I'd like to bring it to your attention that the Mrs. Minogaji Roy, those from Tibet House, we know her so well that she has been a great asset for Tibet House. And whenever there's crisis for Tibet House, when the need is there for us to turn to her or to her husband, Mr. Kirtiji, they're always there. They're always there for us. And today, the launch that is taking place, the launch of the Friends of Mentors, to give you a quick overview of what it's all about. This is an extremely important project for the welfare of the elderlies. It is because of the charity which she runs, known as Savera, which was actually already established since like 20 years ago. And that time, his son, Milind, raise a hand, Milind? Raise a hand? Yes. So Milind, he must be 1 or 2 years old then, very young. And the mother already started a charity work. And then recently meaning few months ago, at Tibet House, we went through some crisis, and then I turned towards Mrs. Minogaji, and she was there to jump to help us days, nights, under all situations. And that Mr. Kirtiji and her 2 children, 2 sons, all of them, they were all so supportive that their mother is after Tibet House and not seen around the family, but they did not mind. They want to make sure that they're all there for Tibet House as well. So that is something so touching for us. And then from this experience, the Mrs. Minogaji, she came up with a new idea that, okay, the elderlies, they need help. And some, they can afford very luxurious elderly homes, but there are many, we cannot do that. And many also do not want to really go out after spending like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years in one place, and then having to move out to an elderly home. This is not something they are so keen. So she came up with the idea how to help other people, particularly the elderlies. The younger ones, everybody's there to help the younger ones because there's the dream there. There is a vision there. There's a mission for the younger ones. But for the elderlies, the people don't really see any benefit out of this, and people are really reluctant. Even the children, they are reluctant to be there for their parents, elderly parents. So they run away from the parents in some cases. So but she's the one who came up with the idea that how about starting a project whereby the elderlies, they can stay in their own respective house, which they have been living for the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years. They can continue to stay there, and all the assistance they require, we can provide. So this is what I would call as the action of a bodhisattva. And she came up with the idea and asked me if that is possible. And I said, of course, it's so noble a goal. And then she became very courageous. I did not really have to do anything. I just said, yes, it is a noble goal. And she's there to act. And her son, Milind, he's there to say, yes, Mom, you must do it. Ishila said, you must do it, you will succeed. And her son was after her. to make sure that it happens. So today, in the presence of the most venerable Khyentse Rinpoche, Venerable Chanjuk Geshe Chanjuk Shondela, we like to, say inaugurate this program, the project, the Friends of Mentors. Mentors here referring to the elderlies, and how the Mrs. Munugaji, Milan, and the family, Kirdiji and Aryan, how they all are there as friends, and they're going to actually provide jobs for the dynamic people, dynamic youngsters job, and will be fully paid, and that the elderly, they are going to be supported. This is incredibly noble, the task. So the first, I would request Mrs. Minugaji Roy to kindly speak about this project, and then I request following that, I request the most venerable Khyentse Rinpoche, Venerable Geshe Chanjuk Shinde Rinpoche, to give some comments and your, say, moral support in ways of your some the presentations to Menugaji and Milind, Kirdiji, and Aryan, and the project, the Friends of the Mentors. Okay, first I invite Mrs. Menugaji Roy to just explain to us what is this project.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la, and good evening to all of you, Rinpoche-la also. And practically speaking, I have to make a confession today. And perhaps this is the best platform I can confess. It was, 2021, year 2021, in the month of August, when I was sitting with my family in my cozy home, and I received a phone call, and that name was flashing, one of my elderly's friend's name. But I did not pick up that call. I did not pick up that call. That was late night, and I did not. And the ring stopped after that. But the ring did not stop in my head. Whole night it kept ringing in my head. And I kept thinking that whether she was in an emergency, whether she needed me, what was the reason why she called me. All these things were constantly going on in my head. And then next day morning, I called her up. She was fine. She was absolutely okay. But that night and that fear stayed with me, as if something would have happened to her that night, I would have never be able to forgive myself. And similar experiences I had. One more I might share, that there was an elderly woman. Today I'm not naming anyone, but tremendous help was required for her. And there were people who were helping her. I also tried my best. But due to several limitations, because single-handedly or as a single human, you can't help them. You need a complete organization or an institution which has the powers, legal powers, the people with you. There are several kind of people who can help in this. Then we can take up such projects or such helps we can give. So once I go near to them, I'm attached with a lot of elderly people. But what I find, even they are in old homes or outside in their family, even staying with their own family or alone also, everybody has, their emotional needs, mental needs, because this is the time when their life, they're physically growing, their body is becoming weaker, but they have wisdom, they have thinking power, they have experience, they have whole life experience with them. But they are weaker. They don't look so good now. So all these things becomes a limitation for them. And then they go into a denial kind of a thing, the children also, or themselves also. It's not that their children are bad. It's not that. They're busy. They are also outside working, maybe not able to give so much of time to them. And ultimately, I get to see that in the old homes and all these elders, nobody, want to be in an old home. Ultimately, everybody wants their own home where they stayed for so long. Now they want their own bed's comfort, their own house, their books, their things, where they have loads of memories for maybe they have lost their partners now, and their memories are there, their children memories are there. They don't want to live it and go away and stay in a old home, even if it is a 5-star. So all these things triggered in my mind, and I thought that there is a huge need that if we can do something where the elderlies can stay in their own home and we can support them with all the activities, all the securities, whatever they need, and we have that kind of a youth setup where we can go and reach them whenever 24/7 they want. Although it's a huge dream, I am just in the lowest possible at present, just starting with it with all of your helps. And Geshe-la has been like a motivational person for me always. He's the dharma for me. He's the guru. He's the reliable guide. His teachings I learned compassion, bodhicitta, dependent origination, and wisdom. But till I don't put them in action, I don't feel I am learning enough. So studies are there, and Geshe-la is constantly a motivation because he just do not teach, he does what he talks. So these things have come up. Now this project, if Tibet House, I can request to show the website on this. This is Friends of Mentors. I mean, there will be 2 segments, like one is friend and the other is mentor. I call my elderly mentors because they are not just senior citizens. We are also on the same path. They are our elders. They have made us. We are the people today sitting. Whatever we are doing, it is because of them. But today, they are sidelined. That is a difficult thing. That's a very painful thing to see. So this is mentors are our elders, and the friends. Friends will be the people who will be giving services to them. It can be from a grocery store. It can go to a lawyer. It can be a salon person, teachers, and all kind of services, whatever they need. We can give them all that: hospitals, blood tests, taking them somewhere, taxi services, everything. We will be tying up with everybody like this, and they will give the service to our elders, but with all the securities, which we will be monitoring constantly. So this is how I plan to do it, but I request all of you that please go through the site, see if any way you can be a part of it. There are many ways we can do anything, It's just not being service or monetary. We cannot stick to one thing. There are several, even time, even going to an elder and talking for 5-10 minutes. That is also a very big thing for them. So this is what I'm looking forward to. I need your blessings and your good wishes. And I need a lot of strength. And I know Geshe-la is there with me. Everything I get panicked about, I go back to Geshe-la. And he's always there to help me. But Rinpoche-la, your prayers, your presence, this is also a very big blessing today for me. This is a great platform today Geshe-la had given me. I never imagined it will be like this. So this is what it is. I'm not going into the details of the site because if you get time, just go through it. Everything is clearly mentioned in it. So this is what it is. I'm again thanking you. These are the elders. You can see they have given their testimonies, what all needs they had. So please, thank you so much. I'm grateful to you, Geshe-la. You gave me this platform. And thank you, Rinpoche-la, also. Thank you, every one of you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Most Venerable Khyentse Rinpoche, Geshe Changcho Shendela, for your kind blessings.
Good evening, Most Venerable Geshe Dorje Damdula, for this invitation to this very important and a kind of very useful and required need of the contemporary society, as Madam Menoka ji has put it forward. And I'm grateful that you have support of your kind of entire family member with the kind of guidance and advices and spiritual kind of blessings of Geshe-la. It's an irony that in India we have very kind of deeply rooted values which we are gradually losing. I do remember seeing 3 or 4 generations or 5 generations living under same shelter, same roof. Now gradually kind of we are breaking up, and kind of individualism of West is kind of taking over. I think we are kind of getting westernized in a much kind of stronger pace, and with a kind of much wider impact. That is an irony of today's kind of Indian society. Of course, we have to accept the kind of truth that there are some good things that can be learned from the Western way of life. But it is not that everything that is in West and that comes from West is good, and everything that we had and we are having for thousands of years is kind of something untimely or kind of old-fashioned. So unfortunately, I see it is in the society very strongly moving around, like our education is westernized, our lifestyle is getting westernized, our ideology is getting westernized, everything is getting westernized, kind of too much of westernization is there. I think it is really important that we should look back into our own values and then preserve those kind of precious and valuable kind of those manners and values that we had already there. So it is an irony that we need to do such kind of activities in this part of the world, but somehow if there is a kind of a need, we have to do it. We cannot shy away from that. So it's really important that, of course, as a kind of a Buddhist preacher or Buddhist teacher or Buddhist kind of practitioner, we learn all these kind of great values of compassion, love, kindness, care, altruism, and kind of 6 perfections and all those things. But when it comes to the kind of implementation of those things, practically applying those things in the life, sometimes we end up in becoming kind of desensitized to a lot of things that is happening around us. So it is really important that we have to remain kind of more alert and more focused on everything that is happening around us. So that is the reason why Buddha has been kind of emphasizing a lot on the mindfulness. We have to remain mindful throughout the time, day in and day out, what is happening around us. And based on that understanding and kind of observation, we have to do kind of the need, kind of necessary things to to help others and take care of others. So here, as you guys put it forward, particularly Minokaji, like it is not that the kids and the children are not willing to help, but due to the lifestyle, they won't be able to help to a certain extent. Sometimes I feel that this is a kind of a huge impact of the too much of modernization. Now, sometimes I also put it like this. We are ending up becoming a kind of, part of a big machinery. And as soon as that part is non-functional and it is taken out and thrown away, it is almost becoming like that. We need to kind of bring back kind of a sense of humanity in the entire system of the kind of human society. I think this is something that we need to work out. We need to work out in a much wider angle, in a kind of, I think there are some initiatives in some other areas, like there are some initiatives also in the kind of, field of businesses, that some businesses, they are kind of employing some kind of humanity-based way of functioning. And these are kind of some positive things. I have some discussion with the kind of Google experts and some kind of software kind of experts, internationally well known. They're also quite kind of interested in those kind of things. So there are kind of like-minded people in every field, but somehow I think we need to connect with each other and then kind of pool the effort and then kind of strengthen the movement. That is very important. And of course, you see this Infotech is a very good platform. So you have a kind of a website, and then people can go there, and then you can connect with them. This is one way of thing. And then nowadays there are more such things like these social media platforms, and all these things are there. I think it will resonate well with the younger generation. So our target always should be the younger generation, and the more we kind of work with the younger generation, the more we influence the younger generation, the more we bring the changes into their behavior. I think that will bring a wider and in-depth changes in the society, unless our own kind of thoughts and our own activities or actions remain just limited up to a certain point. I think that should not function in that way. So for that reason, I really deeply appreciate and praise your efforts. And I personally, myself, I've been also kind of looking forward to engage more kind of actively in kind of charity and social activities. Most of the time, for all these past many years, I've been kind of more focused on administration. So now I'm about to retire from the administration. So I'm getting more and more engaged with the kind of social and other activities. Hopefully, I think it will bring a different value and different learning in life. After all, we have to keep learning until we attain the Buddhahood. So that is a kind of truth that we have to accept. So you see, when we do these kind of things, of course, that is a kind of exchange of benefits, as you put it forward. Like when we are sharing our own kind of good things with the other, eventually we will also benefit and gain from that kind of activities. So I used to actually tell to my brothers, tell to my friends that the sense of satisfaction and sense of kind of accomplishment that you get after kind of doing a charity. You cannot buy it from the market, or you cannot kind of get it paid by anyone else unless you do it yourself. So that is a kind of invaluable gain and benefit one can get. That will come only when we engage in those kind of things, unless there is no way. Even if someone's the richest man in the world, they cannot buy it. So from that point of view, I think there is a kind of a mutual benefit for the kind of caretaker and for the kind of care receiver. They all benefit from these kind of activities. So from that point of view, I think all the brothers and sisters, those are gathering here, will definitely be happy to kind of be part of your mission. And it is my pleasure to be part of today's gathering. And I hope we will personally meet someday and have more discussion, more kind of discussion on these issues in a kind of in-depth manner. So thank you very much for that. And thank you, Geshe-la, for your kind of inspiration that you have been inspiring Menokaji and their family. And definitely this work will go a long way and will kind of encompass many people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venerable Shazi Khensu Rinpoche, for joining this session and for your overwhelming words on your project. Milanji, would you like to share any view on this project?
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah, I'm just happy that I can help my mother, and this is a huge cause. Right now in my life, it is a turning point because in like 15 days I graduate and I become an MBA, and I'll be out there searching for jobs and doing my bit to settle down in life. But I'm very happy that I got this opportunity right away, and I've been working in it. And this is, I love helping people. Like mom might know that since 7 years old I've been serving people food, like it's called bhog in Durga Puja. Like it's a 4-day event of like a goddess, and I serve, like I volunteer to make them sit down and serve, and I feel like amazingly alive. So this is a platform which I got, and I'm super happy and lucky, and I am putting in everything I got in this, and I would make it a success, and in the future I would also scale it if possible. So I'm really happy for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Milanji, for your very thoughtful words. With this, we have come to the end of today's program. And on behalf of Tibet House, I would like to especially thank to Venerable Shazi Khensu Rinpoche for joining today's session, and Mrs. Menuka Royla, and to all the participants for taking out time out of your busy schedule to participate in today's program. The program would not have been possible without your cooperation and kind attention. Thank you once again, and wish you all a very happy weekend. Thank you.